Hey everyone, welcome back. NIO joins the race for lithium. NIO has bought 12% of an Australian Greenwing Resources. This is a big thing because NIO is one of the few companies, perhaps one of the only companies, only EV company that I know of to invest in a lithium mining company. A company that specifically specializes in mining and gathering the resources for electric vehicles. And NIO has purchased a substantial stake in this company, over 12%. That's quite fascinating. NIO has joined Tesla in sourcing raw materials directly from mines rather than its own battery suppliers, as soaring price of lithium, a critical component of EV batteries, hurts manufacturers, supply chain stability, and bottom lines. Now, I'm well aware for some time now that Elon Musk has shown interest in allowing Tesla to purchase a company that mines lithium, the raw material itself. But since then, I haven't heard any information on that, and I wasn't aware that Tesla's began investing in lithium companies. However, if they are, that's the brilliant thing to do. It's perfect. In fact, many more EV companies will have to follow the similar strategy. They will have to own their own sourcing material company for themselves because the price of lithium is just out of control. Lithium carbonate prices in China has hit a record 501,000 yang or tons in September, tripling the number from a year ago. That's tripling the number from a year. That's only in the space of 1 year. That's crazy. The surge is so dramatic that regulators summoned key industry players for a meeting in March and called for a return to regional pricing. Now, last year, CATL paid nearly $300 million to buy out Vancouver-based, which of course makes NIO's investment in Greenwing looks quite humble. But it's still a good thing to know that these companies are making huge strategic moves for the future. They're planning ahead for a really tough future, a cold winter. Because if you can't source your own materials, it's going to be insanely expensive. And if you don't have a company that's already in the lithium mining business that you can use to expand, well, that's even going to be even more crazy. Now, NIO's move come at no surprise as the EV maker is gearing up to make its own battery pack starting in 2024. The CEO of NIO, William Lee, said on its June earnings call that the firm was stepping up battery-related investments to gain more bargaining power over upstream costs. Now, together, NIO has over 400 employees working on battery technology by June. The CEO detailed the challenge facing the EV firm and the industry at large. Now, in terms of vehicle gross margin, the whole industry is faced with rising costs of batteries, raw material, chips, which has also affected our vehicle margin. In the fourth quarter, the vehicle's margin stood at 18.1% as the battery costs continue to surge and peak in April. The vehicle margin is the second quarter will be under even more high pressure. To mitigate and to impact the rise of material costs, we have taken a series of countermeasures such as adjusting product pricing. Now, BYD, the Warren Buffett-backed Chinese manufacturer that is closing in on Tesla by producing a mix of hybrid and electric vehicles, has also been getting its hands on a global lithium supply. In January, the firm said that it won a contract from Chile's mining ministry to produce 80,000 metric tons of lithium over 20 years with an offer of $61 million, but the auction was subsequently suspended by a local court under political pressures. That's really fascinating. So basically that deal didn't go through. That's kind of wild. That is kind of wild. Now, apart from this, we can actually have a look at the NIO share. At the moment, it's currently $17.33. And to be honest, for the last month, this is just around where it's been. This is the lowest point that it's been in the last month. So in saying that, it's technically kind of undervalued. And of course, NIO is branching out into Europe. As you can see, I've been making some videos on that subject. And this is, of course, a brilliant thing for NIO. They're still undervalued even at this moment. If you don't believe me, take a look at Rivian. Rivian is currently the second biggest EV manufacturer in the world by market cap. Yet, Rivian does not make even half the amount of cars NIO has made in the last year or since the beginning of this year. Rivian is simply a much smaller company, yet their market cap is much larger. That alone can tell me that NIO is seriously undervalued in this market condition. And so is Polestar as well. Those are two major companies that I consider to be undervalued. And to an extent, I will also consider XPeng to be undervalued because XPeng is also producing quite a lot of numbers in China. However, NIO seems to be the one who's leading out of China, leading into Europe, and soon the Americas. And in other news that I wanted to catch up on as well, energy crisis in Europe is slowing down NIO's expansion in the region. This is what's been said lately. The soaring energy costs are an obstacle to the company's rollout of battery swap stations, according to the helmsman of Chinese electric vehicle maker. So we've actually got a quote from the CEO and founder and chairman, William Li. Right now we are behind schedule regarding the swap station installation, but that is driven by multiple reasons and the electricity cost is one part. William Li also said that slower than expected plan approval and the need to train workers have also hampered rollout efforts. Now, in contrast to competitors that rely on battery charging, NIO's vehicles supported not only charging but they also support rapid battery replacement, the latter being a signature way of replenishing energy. NIO vehicles simply need to drive into a swap station and the batteries can be swapped out beneath the vehicles in less than 10 minutes. On August 15, NIO opened its second battery swap station in Norway, a new site in Vestby, between Oslo and Gothenburg, which will connect the Norwegian battery swap network to the planned network in Europe. Now, NIO will also build 2 new battery swap stations in Bergen, Norway, according to information previously published in the Norwegian version of the NIO app. NIO is currently building battery swap stations in several other countries, and the company aims to start delivering vehicles to 4 additional countries this year, including Germany, the Netherlands, Denmark, and Sweden. To accelerate its battery swap network in Europe, NIO has built a NIO Power Europe plant in Pest, Hungary, which began operation in September. So brilliant job to NIO. Now the plant, NIO's first overseas facility, covers about 10,000 square meters and saw its first battery swap station roll off the production line earlier this month, which was shipped to Germany. Now NIO aims to have more than 4,000 battery swap stations worldwide by 2025, with 1,000 of them located overseas market. As of September 27th, NIO has 1,132 battery swap stations in China alone, according to the data mentioned by CNEV Post. And ladies and gents, I'm glad to say that we do have another quote from William Li as well, and I quote, "We have been pretty fast and efficient in China. Then we didn't manage our expectation for European market, and the actual speed is actually beyond our expectation." Now, you see, the thing is that in Norway, where NIO began selling vehicles last September, about 95% of customers leased the battery rather than buying a battery with the car, according to the Financial Times. Another obstacle to the company's rollout in Europe is the need to install transformers, which are necessary to run the stations and can take up to 2 years to build. Li also noted that the difficulty of obtaining planning permission for these sites. Yeah, I can imagine that won't be particularly easy in different countries with different regulations, different cities with different governing bodies. Yeah, that will be a challenge. But do not miss the most important part. NIO can still sell a lot of their vehicles as a normal EV vehicles that can easily be recharged without the battery needing to be swapped. A lot of people can still buy these cars and charge them like a normal electric vehicle. And just wait until the infrastructure is ready and is built out by NIO that will allow those customers to also swap their battery. Now, additionally, NIO is also considering building a manufacturing plant in Europe if the sales in the region reaches 200,000 units, according to the report. That would be fantastic. I think they will definitely build a European plant eventually. There's no doubt that they will hit this number. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when they will hit this number. Now, as of the end of August, NIO's cumulative deliveries since its inception stood at 238,000 units. That are since its inception, which includes 71,000 units delivered in the first 8 months of this year. That's really incredible, according to data by CNEV Post. So ladies and gents, this is where we'll end this video. Thank you for watching, and of course, I will see you in our next video.